Okay, so here's the garage, and if you look, there's damage underneath of here. Now the water seems to be running down that keystone. It's probably coming underneath of here and hitting this seam. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a groove under here, and that'll break the surface tension before it gets to the seam and cause the water to drip sooner. I'm going to look at the top here. And you see this archway. It's clean all the way across. There is silicone in here. Somebody did fill it. There are some questionable areas like right here. So we're gonna put that PVC trim up there, re-silicone everything for this guy. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create that self-return. A self-return is when you cut an outside corner on a piece of trim, and you take the little piece that came off of that and trim it so that the trim looks like it turns and dead ends into the wall instead of terminates at the end. I'm going to try to explain this to you. When you're cutting an inside corner, the blade has to face into the piece you're keeping. When you're cutting an outside corner, it faces outside of the piece you're keeping. So this here is going to be the piece we're keeping. Turn that to 45, and it's facing outside. Now this is the piece that we want to face and dead end into the wall. So right now, seeing as we're keeping this piece, you see how it's cut into it. This is for an inside corner. We have to make it cut to the outside for an outside corner. So the piece you're keeping, if you want an outside corner, the blade has to face to the outside. Like that. Now you see that will look just like that. Problem is, this is too long now. It has to be cut exactly where the back of this is. I'll try to show you this on camera. We're going to sit that there. That's where it needs to go. And we're going to make a mark right here. We have to cut this off and keep this little piece. It's not always easy to find it. It usually goes flying. Like that. And we're going to use CA glue to hold that in place, because CA glue will hold it instantly. Now I got to put 2 of these together, probably 3 before I reach the other end of the garage. I don't want to just put butt ends together like this. I'm going to cut it on a 22.5 degree angle. It's called a scarf joint. Okay, I'm going to push this right into the end of that silicone. And fire a nail down into it. Like so. And what that does is it allows the silicone to ooze out the top, making for a very, very watertight connection on the top and bottom. We're also going to run a bead along the front here, even though there's some under it. Let's see how the end looks. Terminates. Block of wood. It'll ride right on here and go across. Beautiful. Now we're going to put a drop cloth down and get some paint on it. Okay, so you can see the groove that's been cut in the bottom of this. And what happens is the water will run down this. When it comes around, it'll hit this groove. That changes the tension that the water has to hold on, and it causes it to drop. So it'll drip before it gets to this, because this here is, you can hear it's kind of hollow. Water's been getting in there for a while. And I think this is the culprit. Now we're just going to paint this to match the rest of it. One of the nice things about Home Depot is you can get $4 samples. This is enough paint to do what I need to do. I don't need to buy a quart of it. Here's the color in case you're interested. Okay, real quick before we get out of here, I just want to show you that the groove is all painted to match, and it runs along the whole base of this. That will hopefully cause the water that comes down and runs under to drip before it reaches the soffit wood. We're also going to go up the ladder because I want you to see the top. And this is the PVC trim that was installed here. A silicone bed this was pushed into, a clear silicone bed, and then white silicone on both sides so it matches and blends in. You don't see any gaps. Okay, so that job is complete. Hopefully you learned something from that video. The obvious PVC quarter round above the garage with silicone is not some crazy pro tip, but cutting a groove into the underside of the fascia board will prevent the water from the rain that runs underneath from reaching the soffit wood. The soffit wood here underneath of that is only as thick as paneling. It's a very thin piece of wood. And so it's important that rain not get to the edge of that, because it'll soak it in like a sponge on the end grain and eventually do just like it did. So we've put it back together the best we could with what we had on the underside of there. I should have had some wood filler or something to fill it in with and sand it down, but I didn't know that that was chipped away like that. The pictures that he sent me did not indicate that there was any crazy damage to it. So we put the groove in there. That groove will definitely keep the water away from the soffit wood, and the PVC up at the top will definitely keep the rain from getting behind the trim work, because it's bedded in clear silicone, and then the seams were all done with white silicone. So it's been double protected, and then of course the PVC won't rot away. It's not susceptible to rot, so it should last for many years. The only thing I will say about PVC is sun does affect PVC over the course of probably a decade, and the PVC could end up cracking or discoloring over time. I'd like to thank you for watching and invite you to subscribe to my channel if you like this video and you want to see more like it. You can also click the little bell after you subscribe, and you'll be notified anytime I upload a new video. I try to upload at least one per week. So until then, I'll see you next time.